Today is a good day, everybody. Today is a good day. Shout out to each and every one of you for rocking with us today. We're gonna go ahead and recap the NFL Week 14, everybody. It's a great day. I just gotta say that. I gotta start with that. It's a wonderful day for a couple of reasons. We'll get into all those reasons, but before we do, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that thumbs up. It is much, much appreciated. And also, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you do subscribe. Click that bell, turn on your notifications so you don't miss the stream, content, all that fun stuff. Business first. Obviously, the stream schedule is down below. So if you're wondering which games I will be streaming for Week 15, as well as tonight, it's all down below. Catch it on the scroll. Also, later on in the show, I'll allow you guys to be able to call in and give your takes on what we're talking about. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear some insight from you, and I want to chop it up. So yeah, shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family, all the listeners, all the watchers. As we get started with the show, quick shout out to Ryan. What up, Ryan? What's going on with you, bro? Linda in the house. Tyler, what up, man? What's going on with you? Michael says this thumbnail. Oh yeah. I had to cook a little bit. I had to cook just a little bit. Jonas says, how about those Cowboys, Jay? I sent your Dak video about his training camp, and Dak said, I'm going to have to shut that guy up. Dak and company coming to Buffalo. See you guys there. I'm excited for that, Jonas. You know it. I'm so excited. I did have the Cowboys last night for the win. You know that I've had an item by 7. They did a great job. But now all bets are off. All bets are off Sunday, my friend. It's going to be your team versus my team. But it's going to be great. Shout out to Lori. What up, Lori? Rebecca in the house. What's going on, Rebecca? Shout out to the Bills Mafia. Jason in the building. What's up, Jason? What's going with you? Chris Hall. Great day, my friend. It is a great day. It is a great day. Lori says, how about my Niners? We gonna get into the Niners too, Lori. The Niners are doing great. I like what I'm seeing out of Purdy. All that system quarterback talk, it's starting to kind of fade, right? It's starting to kind of fade away, and not really, but you know, for the real believers of Purdy, we see what it is for what it is. And there is a question though that because if you know me, I gotta be unbiased. I gotta open the box. If he was anywhere else, would he be as great? If he didn't have the team that he has, would he be as great? And obviously you can ask that question and you can say those kind of things, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because he has what he has and he is where he is and he's doing great. So there you go. Revan in the building says, we them boys. Let's go. Shout out to the Midge. What's up, Midge? George Tucker in the house. Drew Baby says, sup, Jay? I was watching the Bills game and I was watching you. You are the best. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get into some things. We got to get into some conversations, and we got to talk about some crazy stuff that happened for Week 14. And we're going to go ahead and get into our recap, our breakdown here. So you know what? I guess I'll go ahead and start with the Ravens. Now, obviously, I was not able to catch the Ravens game. I seen some of the highlights. I had some other stuff going on. But let's just go ahead and get right into it as far as, the stats and everything. Rams, Ravens. All right. The Rams really surprised me, right? From the highlights that I seen, and then obviously getting into, some of the stats and things like that. If I can pull this up, it doesn't want to work for me. Come on and work. Nope, doesn't want to work. I got to expand this over. Here we go. Let's go to the box score. So here we go. So we got Matthew Stafford, 23 completions on 41 attempts, 294 yards, 7.2 on the average, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Had a QBR of 73.4. This is great for Matthew Stafford because I feel like he's been, it's just Matt Stafford. It's just the Rams. They're terrible now. They're not doing great anymore. But this team was once great. This is once a team that everybody feared, right? They were once dominant. So, obviously, what are the issues that the Rams are having? Well, they're just haven't been playing great offensively. They had injuries, right? The defense just was not getting the job done. So now you have a situation where you have a close game with the Ravens. They come out strong. right? The Ravens are battling back, and we know what the Ravens can do, and we understand the team that they are as far as offensively, defensively, and all that stuff. Lamar Jackson coming out, having a strong year, right? One of the few that got paid the money that they're worth and then came to work the next day, right? That Lamar Jackson. OBJ stepping it up, right? Everyone thought that he was just a lost cause. And then he ends up with the Ravens and he, picks it up. He balls out. Unfortunately, Mark Andrews being out, I think is definitely a big issue because obviously with him being out, you don't have that option to go to. So someone else needs to step up. OBJ, Bateman, right? And then getting into obviously the rushing for the Rams. You've got Kyron Williams with 25 carries on 114 yards. Receiving, Cooper Kupp being that great wide receiver he is, 8 receptions on 115 yards. Puka with 8 receptions on 84 yards. So, yeah, I mean, the Rams looks like they played strong, but getting into the Ravens, right? Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 24 of 43, 316 yards, average 7.3 as well. 3 touchdowns. He did have the interception, which, that plays a big part as far as momentum, right? Getting into the rushing. 11 carries on 70 yards. Keaton Mitchell, 9 carries on 54 yards. And on receiving, OBJ, 4 receptions, 97 yards. Likely with 5 receptions with 83. Flowers with 6 of 60. Obviously, you want to see more out of Flowers. The kid's fast. He's great. Great out route running. So probably want to see more production out of him considering Andrews is out. But listen, I think this is a tough battle, obviously, for both sides. And when you think that you know what's going to happen, it normally does not happen. So good win for the Ravens there coming back in overtime. There was discussions as far as whether or not, the run back was rigged and the whole thing was rigged. Why? Here's my thing. If you believe that the NFL is rigged, why do you watch it? If you believe that the refs rig it, a player's rigging it, a coach is rigging it, or whatever, or it's scripted, why do you watch it? Right? At that point, if that's the case, you might as well just call it entertainment and then keep moving forward and say, hey, I love what I'm watching, but I understand that it's entertainment. But hey, I'll leave it there. Quick shout out to Rebecca's pro tip. Got the play arrow to actually watch. Shout out to Rebecca. Bills Mafia are still strong, of course. Listen, it was just like I told everybody yesterday, right? You guys know what I said. I know what I said. I didn't take it back. I didn't change what I said. You guys know that's not me. There needs to be a change, whether it's a production change or a personnel change. I would prefer a production change, right? That's what I talk about before we get into that conversation as far as whether or not someone should still be with the team, right? I want to see this organization thrive. I want to see this organization be successful. I have nothing against anybody. And I think some people may have taken it that way. And if you did, hey, you need to stick around a little bit longer so you can know how your boy Jay rocks. But in the end, Bills Mafia, we're going to be all right. So there it is. Shout out to Rebecca says Jay because they can decide to script it your way. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when you understand that these games are called the way that they are, a player can drop the ball, a player can get there could be an interception, there could be a fumble, there can be all this, that, and the third. But guess what? At the end of the day, we're still sitting there watching it. We're still sitting there commentating about it. We're still analyzing every play. We're still talking about the refs. And we understand that the NFL is a business, right? First and foremost. So if it is scripted, then hey, we're watching entertainment. Personally, I don't feel like it's scripted. I feel like there's certain situations that individuals can influence. I do think that can happen because when you have money involved with anything, there's some form of influence there for people to do things that they maybe shouldn't do or change things that they can change themselves. But other than that, I don't think the grand scheme of things is scripted or rigged. So there you go. Jamie says, please make it make sense. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes said the refs usually give them warnings before They throw flags on them. I wonder how many other teams get these warnings before flags. I didn't want to go there yet, Jamie, but since you mentioned it, why not? Why not? Since you mentioned it, let's go ahead and do it. I first want to talk about this. I was kind of saving this for the meat of the conversation, but I kind of wanted to talk about this and get into it and do a real deep dive because there was a lot of stuff said yesterday or last night that was really, really wild. And here we go.
I've never seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment, man. Fucking terrible.
So let me run. First off, let me run this back one more time. Right. Let's start at the very beginning. Right. Allen, after the game, Allen and Mahomes go up to each other and they embrace. Now, obviously, if you remember last year after the 13-second scenario, Allen and Mahomes went up to each other. Allen basically, gave his nod, gave his props to Mahomes, and we moved on from it. But in this time, we see a weak and disgruntled Mahomes because he's mad and upset, not give that same sportsmanship and consideration. Let's watch it one more time.
Wildest fucking call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment, man.
Wildest effing call I've ever seen, man. Wildest effing call I've ever seen, man. One more time for the people in the back.
Wildest fucking call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment.
And if you stop it here, you'll see that Allen pats him on his chest like, okay, really? Here's what's funny about this for a couple reasons. When you have this kind of situation, it not only exposes the feelings and emotions of someone who's obviously won Super Bowls, but it really comes to question as far as the sportsmanship and the character. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is a bad guy, but this is where you would think consistency would come into play. If you are at an elite level and you are who you are, right, you're going to maintain that, right? You can have the press conference and talk about whatever you need to. You can go on social media and talk about the refs or talk about the call or go in the locker room and get your frustrations out and do all that kind of stuff. But to not give Josh Allen his respect in regards to winning this game and going out there and playing with his all just like you have in the past, that's trash to me. Not giving his respect, not acknowledging him on the victory that Josh Allen did earn by going out there and stepping on that field and playing just like he did, that moment is trash to me. Other than that, if you want to be mad about the call, whatever, I totally get it, right? You're passionate about the game, all that kind of stuff. But how you handle being mad about that situation speaks volumes right now. So let's go ahead and get into the number 2 side of this that I wanted to get into as well. The number 2. This is the play. This is the play that everybody is so in an uproar about and so mad, and it's absolutely ridiculous. What are you mad for? Look at it. He's standing on the line. He's looking at the center. If I'm looking at the center and I don't see anybody else with me besides the ball, maybe I need to back the hell up. Tony, what are you doing? And you know what? It's not even just about this game. Kadarius Tony has shown time and time again that he is incapable of catching a football, incapable of running a proper route and breaking free. And for some reason, everyone just feels like, all right, well, it's okay. He'll be fine. He'll get through it. This is the reason why the Giants got rid of him. This is the reason why I still have Tony rookie cards that won't move or sell. I have to take a loss because he's trash. Get him off the field. And don't get me wrong, I get it. I totally get it, right? You need someone for him to for Mahomes to throw to. But you need to figure it out because it's not Tony that's not the individual you need to go to win the game or that you want to have in the game when you're trying to win one, because he's obviously proven that he's going to help you lose and not win. So to be honest, I want to go ahead and give Mr. Kadarius Tony a round of applause for helping out Bills Mafia yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank him and give him a round of applause. So there you go. There's so many different aspects that you can take away from this game. And I'm not even just going to beat up on the Chiefs. You guys know I keep it real. I'm not just going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, Tony, right? That's it. We won. Yeah, let's go. We did win. But guess what? I'm mad at the Bills, too. Right? It was a win. And right, a win is a win. But at the end of the day, we have to fix the problems and the issues as an organization from a coaching standpoint. Because when you get back into this game, it should not have been 20-17. We should have been up 21-7 in the second quarter. We slowed down, took our feet off the gas, and then decided to let them come back and score 17 unanswered. We decided to go on a passing spree, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, when we needed the clock to run so we could kick the field goal and leave them as least amount of time as possible. Who's calling in passing plays when you need to let the clock roll? And you can bring in the fact that Allen tried to throw to Stephon Diggs on a screen, and that would have ran the clock down, but he dropped the ball, and we'll get into that in a minute. But that doesn't discredit the fact that we decided to even keep throwing the ball from that point. This is why I get aggravated. This is why I get mad about these situations that happens, and people get so upset with me saying, well, Jay, why do you feel like that? Why are you so mad? Listen, I'm mad because I'm not understanding why we have these situations where we clearly have a chance to win the game. We just have to make the proper decisions to make sure that we have the best outcome. That's all it's about, having the best outcome, especially when you have the lead. Don't slow down. Don't get scared. Don't freeze up and say, oh, we've got a 7-point lead. All right, so all we have to do now is just hold the ball and let's play conservative. No, you keep your foot on the gas and you do exactly what the Cowboys did. You keep going. You keep going, especially knowing that you don't have a defense that could potentially stop this offense from scoring. That means you need to put up way more points than they do. So, yes, I'm happy with the win. I love my Bills Mafia, but we need to clean things up, and that's the reality of it. Shout out to Jamie. He says, Jay, what's your thoughts on Davis? Listen, let me go ahead and get some water real quick. Let me get some water. Shout out to Miss Diamond. What's going on with you? Eric says Mahomes is mad that he's not the focus in Kansas City with Taylor and Travis all over the TV. That's an interesting one. I mean, we can get into that conversation. Shout out to Raymond. What's going on with you? Clarence says Buffalo has poor play calling. I hope the Broncos win the division. You know what? I want to get into the Broncos shortly. We'll do that as well. Reverend says it's definitely too late in the season for endings like last night. That's what I'm saying. Rebecca says we had them shook up first quarter. We could have blasted them then. Exactly. And that's my point, right? There was a statement that we took out of the article that we broke down that said that the Bills as an organization from the coaching standpoint have been playing scared, have been playing fearful, right? Not making the proper decisions when it's down to the wire. And then you start to see a nervous coach. You start to see a nervous team. You don't see that leadership, right? That fire to get over that hump. And I will give Sean McDermott some credit for this. I will say that I did see a little bit more spirit yesterday. I will say that I did see a little bit more fire and him being on the sideline, right? I did see a little bit more emotion out of him, which is what I've been saying that we've needed to see. And then obviously went to the press conference and all that stuff and being gave him the ball. And it was great to see that the Bills team had his back, which is great. But let's not keep winning by 3 points. Let's get some dominant victories. Let's be up by 21. Let's be up by 14 when the fourth quarter comes and there's 2 minutes left on the clock. So, Sean, you can breathe on the field and you can clap away without that nervous look on your face because you know you have to win. That's what I want to see. So now we're going to go ahead and open up the phone for you guys. If you want to go ahead and call in and give some insight, you can. The phone line is open. I'll go ahead and actually put up the phone number here for you guys in the chat. And I'll go ahead and put it up for you guys. Yes, Ryan, you can call in. And remember, it is family friendly. Be saying nothing crazy when you call in. I already know you, Ryan. I already know you. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this up for you guys. And here we go. I'm going to put up the number so you guys can call in, give your take, and we'll chop it up. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know how you feel, whether you agree, whether you disagree. And there you go. So numbers up. You can call in at 585-371-8825. And just make sure that, obviously, you keep it clean, right? You know that kids are on the channel. Keep it family friendly for the most part. And we'll go from there. Number's 585-371-8825. And as soon as you guys call in, we'll try and get you on the line. Trying to get you in here. Just 1 second. Let me call you right back.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm good. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ryan.
Oh, what's up, Ryan? What's going on with you, man?
Not much.
All right, let me turn you up a little bit to make sure that we got you sounding good. All right, so do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What are you feeling like, Ryan?
I kind of came in late, so I didn't hear everything that you said, but I think Mahomes is a crybaby, just like his brother.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. I'll basically give you a brief rundown of what I went through. So we talked about as far as Mahomes and his reaction as far as to Allen. We started off with that, right? Basically him not giving Allen the credit for getting the win and basically just complaining to him in regard to, the ref call and things like that. And, Allen patting him on his chest And then, basically I don't appreciate that. I thought that was trash. I think if Allen can give you the respect and the loss of, the 13-second loss, you show him the same kind of respect, even though you don't appreciate the call that happened, because that's what good sportsmanship is.
Yeah, Jay, I did see that video of him.
Yeah.
And that's where I say he's a crybaby for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you feel about Tony?
You don't see him doing that.
How do you feel about Tony?
I think Mahomes should focus his anger towards Tony,
mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, and his other teammates. Like, you saw Chris Jones getting mad on the sidelines, and I think his defensive coordinator, somebody slamming a tablet on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It looks like that team just fell apart.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. And I think a lot of people are forgetting about that. There was high tempers on the sideline before Mahomes even felt any kind of way. They had already started having the negative energy with Chris Jones, and I think the defensive coordinator. It was bad already, right? So you have that situation, and you have a pot that's basically already boiling, and then you have this situation with the ref call. So yeah, they were already in this aspect of just ready to explode. And this call happens. So I think the Chiefs as a franchise right now, they're in shambles. And I do want to mention one big thing, right? Because I feel like we can veer off a little bit here. I want to mention one big thing that I think nobody has been really paying attention to for the most part, because it's been kind of slept on. And that is going to be your Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos and Sean Payton have turned around this entire franchise. Russell Wilson's looking way different, right? And he's been one of the most slept on quarterbacks in this league, and he's probably had the best stats out of the top 5 in the league. Barring Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, you throw Hurts in there. Right now, if you look at what Russell Wilson is doing and what this Denver Broncos team is doing, they're looking absolutely great. And I feel like the Broncos may potentially have a chance to take over that division, and the Chiefs could be out of it.
Yeah. Broncos got some tough games coming up, though, with Detroit and a couple other good teams. Well, of course, the Chiefs have a cupcake schedule to end the season.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, yeah, Ryan, I do thank you for the love. Do thank you for the support, my friend. We're going to try to get somebody else on here, but it was great talking to you, bro.
All right, great talking to you. Have a good one.
All right, bro. All right, so we're going to bring in another caller here. We'll try to get 315 on the line. If you just call from 315, I'll give you a call. Make sure you answer, and then we'll get you in here. Hey, this is when in doubt, throw to Cortland Sutton. Right? Hello?
Hey, hang on 1 minute, buddy.
All right, no problem.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is this Jeff?
It is, my man. It is.
What's going on with you, Jeff? How you doing today, man?
Not too bad. How you doing?
I'm good. We got Jeff King in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff King is in the house. Always a great time talking to Jeff King, my man, the legend himself. How you feeling today, bro?
I'm doing good. We're far too kind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? We have great conversations. Everybody knows when we have these conversations, you don't have to agree with me. You could disagree with me. I'm open for all kinds of debates. How do you feel, Jeff?
Oh, you know how we talk, buddy. I'm a realist.
Exactly.
If I don't agree with you, I'll tell you straight up. I don't agree with it.
Exactly.
But which part of the subject are we talking about?
So right now we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, his reaction in regards to the ref call and Kadarius Tony.
Okay. Let's be real about this, okay? It's Patrick Mahomes. It's not a good look for him. It's not a good look for Andy Reid. However, we're on the other side of the coin with this.
Mm-hmm.
We won.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if that call had happened to us, we'd probably be pissed off too to end a game like that.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
But in the same token, it was the right call because that's the rules.
Yeah,
but I get their anger. I actually enjoy seeing their anger. But you know, that's just the reality of it. It falls on Tony, and it doesn't fall on the refs. They're under no obligation to tell them, "Hey, your man's over the line" before the play kicks off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, it's sour grapes, man. I don't know what to say.
And you know, I think this is the big part that people are forgetting too. They'll talk about the situation in regards to, well, you know, sometimes the refs will give a warning. They don't have to give that warning, right? And people are so mad about this. And like,
Yeah,
well,
they're not obligated.
Yeah, they're not obligated to do it. So like, well, they should have gave a warning, and they should have did this, and they should have told him. And he's looking down, staring at the ref. You know, the ref's not obligated. You can look in the picture. He's looking down and staring at the ref. So if you're looking at the ref and you're looking at the ball and you're not understanding that, hey, maybe I'm too far ahead, then why are you getting paid? Why are you a professional football player if you can't make this decision on your own to say, hey, maybe I'm too far ahead and I need to step back so I can make sure I'm online?
Well, yeah. But he also had the opportunity to look at a ref to get a check, and then they're obligated to say, yes, you're over the line.
Yeah.
You know, they can wave you back. You need to, but he didn't do that.
Yeah. How do you feel about?
So, you know,
I was gonna ask you how do you feel about Andy Reid basically saying that he normally gets the warning and that it's a shame that he didn't get it this time. I found that was very, very bad for a couple of reasons, right? Because it almost made it sound like, you know, there's some kind of favoritism with the refs, or it sounds like there's some kind of, you know, hey, you know, if this person likes me enough, he's going to let me know that there's a penalty about to happen so I can stop it.
You know what? It's funny you say that. When I was watching that press conference today, I was like, man, that is not a good thing to say.
It was crazy.
Because now there's going to be an investigation as to why are you telling this guy he's about to get penalized
exactly
if he doesn't do A, B, or C?
Right, and to say that on a press conference that's watched on national TV, it really starts to open your mind. Well, who else has this ability? How many times did the refs tell Bill Belichick that you know, someone was offsides or they were doing this or that, and that he needed to fix it before a flag was thrown? How many times does this happen in the Super Bowl?
That was my next guy I was going to bring up.
You know,
how many times, like you said, how many times does it happen with Belichick?
Yeah,
I mean, because they're all scared, you know, blankless of him.
Of course. So it's.
But yeah, I love that. I'm like, wow, man, I can't believe you just opened your mouth and those words came out.
Yeah, it's really wild. It's really wild for sure, because I don't think anybody expected that. Just like I don't think anybody expected Mahomes to act the way that he did. I feel like, you know, right after that happened and him running around and jumping around and screaming and yelling, you probably could have cooked a cup of noodles on top of his head.
Well, it's indicative of where they're heading as a team.
Yeah.
You know, you could see the fall apart coming with them. You know, all of a sudden they're in a dogfight and they're not liking it, and they're at home.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree about that, because being at home and to be in that kind of situation, not only is, you know, you got the crowd behind you, right? Your team's frustrated. And Ryan had actually mentioned one big thing too that I didn't forget, but I just left out, was the fact of, you know, Chris Jones is already on the sideline freaking out, mad and upset. You had a defensive coordinator slamming down a tablet. So the energy was already off for the Chiefs. It was already off. It just wasn't there. And then when you look at, just how the chemistry was with the offense itself, Mahomes is not who we thought that he was this season. He's changed. He's not that individual that's feared anymore. He looks vulnerable. At times he looks weak, and confused. And, unless Andy Reid can figure it out as far as bringing him some new people and some new weapons, I don't think that the Chiefs are gonna make a run for the championship this year.
I don't either. They'll make the playoffs, most definitely.
Yeah.
But they're starting to fall apart, implode, if you would.
Yeah.
Because Mahomes has always been that statuesque, perfect all the time on the mic, perfect off of the mic, perfect on the field, a gentleman all the time. Now you're seeing the human side of it.
And you know what? To be honest, as bad as it does seem, I think it is good as well. It's good because, just like you said, it shows the human side of things, and it also shows the fact that this man is just that, right? He's an NFL player. He's passionate. He does have some accolades, but there is a side to him that's actually human. And we've seen this multiple times with Tom Brady, right? Everyone knows who Tom Brady is and what he's done. But there were certain times in certain situations where you would say, okay, well, he is human, right? He can get picked off. He can make mistakes. And I think that's where Mahomes is right now in his career.
I'm sorry, what was the last question? What were you saying?
No, I said I think, we've seen that Tom Brady went through the same kind of situation as far as becoming human. And I think that's where Patrick Mahomes is right now in his career.
Frustration.
Yeah.
Let's put it like this. I mean, when they lost Tyreek Hill, yes, they brought in Juju and all that. But it was more of a struggle without Tyreek.
Sure.
Everybody knows that. You can just watch it on film. They had to reconfigure their game plan, come up with new playing style, and it worked.
Sure.
But now, they're missing that. They don't have those, wide open opportunities anymore.
Yeah.
And if somebody punches them in the mouth, they don't have those explosive weapons anymore to take off.
Well, and that was
Kelce's aging.
And I was going to say that's a big thing too, as far as, with the speed, right? The Chiefs have turned into a slower team. When you take away, Tyreek Hill, when you take away more as far as in that same position that he used to be in, you lose all that speed. So now Mahomes has to adjust to a slower play style. And you're right, Kelce's not who he used to be. At one point, people were saying that.
And I don't want to hear it.
Go ahead.
I don't want to hear the Taylor Swift shit and all that. Excuse my French. Okay, it's just a matter of fact. You age, you get slower.
Yeah.
The guy's taken a beating over the years.
Yeah. So here's a question.
So before anybody comes out and says it's because Taylor Swift, I don't want to hear it.
So Jeff, here's a question before we get to the next topic. Who would you rather have right now? Right now in this era of football, would you rather have Rob Gronkowski or Travis Kelce?
Right now?
Right now.
Are we talking in their prime?
We'll go prime. Yeah, we'll talk prime. Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, I'm taking Gronkowski all day long.
Me too. I'm taking Gronk.
I mean, you could put him in a fullback, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, Gronk. And you know what? There are so many people who try to compare Kelce to Gronk and say that, he was better. And,
None.
It's just, for me, if you really, really watch Gronkowski and you don't just hate the man because of who he played with and who he played for, if you just actually watch Gronkowski on that field, this man was a multi-purpose tool. He was a Swiss Army knife on that field. The man could take punishment, but guess what? He's still fighting through it. He rarely dropped the ball, and it was hard to stop him. On the run, right, after he caught the ball and ran, he reminded me of Mike Allstott. Remember how it was almost impossible to stop?
Oh, God, yeah. He was a machine.
He was a machine. And that's how Gronk was after he caught the ball. You just couldn't stop the man. He dragged 2 or 3 people just to get those extra, 3 to 4 yards. And, I see little hints of, greatness in Kelce. But for me, Gronk will always be the greatest tight end, man. He'll be the greatest tight end.
Well, he's a pure tight end. Kelsey's more of a slasher, I want to say. He's not – I'm not saying he's not taking a pounding.
Sure.
But he's smart enough to set himself up to have the lanes where he's not going to take that punishment.
Yeah.
But as for, in comparison to Gronk and Allstott, they didn't care.
Oh, yeah. No,
they don't care who's in front of them. I'm running you over. If you're stupid enough to stand there, guess what? I'm coming.
Exactly. Shout out to you, Jeff. Thank you for the love, man. It's always great talking to you. I'm going to go ahead and move on to
Pleasure's
the next
all
segment.
mine, buddy. Pleasure's all mine.
Definitely. Hit me up. We'll chop it up, man.
All right. You be good.
All right. You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to move on to the next segment, and then we'll take some more calls in a little while. Quick shout out to Lori. Says Kittle was fire yesterday. And yes, you know what? Let's go ahead and get into the 49ers. I want to get into the 49ers, and then we'll go back and recap on the Lions. Let me just pull up the schedule here. Come on now, get it together. All right, there it is. So yeah, the 49ers, right? And there was these talks and discussions as far as whether or not the Cowboys, the 49ers, and the Cowboys have basically had this roller coaster event, which they all 3 of them actually did. At one point, the 49ers, I think, were the first to take the dive, right? Everyone was like, well, Debo's out and Brock Purdy, he's not who we thought he was, and the 49ers are frauds. And it was like, well, they had a situation, right? They lost one of their top players, and yes, that's going to change things. And it made Brock Purdy, in a sense, look vulnerable, right? And people harped on him. People, destroyed him and said that, the 49ers now, they're going to be trash, and it's over for the 49ers, right? They lost to the Browns 19-17 after they just blew out the Cowboys. Then they lost to the Vikings 22-17. Another close victory for the opposing team. Then when they lost to the Bengals 31-17, everyone was up in arms like, oh, it's over for the 49ers. Then they bounced back, right? He bounced back against the Jaguars 34-3, blowing them out. One against the Buccaneers 27-14. One against the Seahawks 31-13. And then absolutely demolished the Eagles 42-19. And then crushed the Seahawks again 28-16. Listen, you can say all you want as far as Brock Purdy being a system quarterback and him having this amazing team and this amazing squad. But the reality is this: you can't say that if someone else was in this situation, they do better, because the 49ers system works for that quarterback that's in it. If Jimmy G was there, would they still have the same kind of success? I don't think so. I think they do be doing okay, but they wouldn't be as dominant as the 49ers are right now. And guess what? They went through the little roller coaster moment, came back, and now the 49ers are probably the most feared team, probably behind the Cowboys right now in the NFC. So then moving on to the Cowboys, right? They had their little situation where people didn't know what was going on as far as with let me just go back here to the schedule. Here we go. See, they had the loss there with the Cardinals, right? 28-16. Then they beat the Patriots, which obviously it's the Patriots. But then they took the hard loss to the 49ers 42-10. And right then and there, people were like, oh, the Cowboys are frauds. Dak Prescott's not going to be able to do it. Well, then he bounced back, right? 20-17 against the Chargers, 43-20 win against the Rams. Lost to the Eagles, right? 28-23 in a close one, but then bounced back against the Giants 49-17, beat the Panthers, beat the Commanders, beat the Seahawks, and then came back, and which probably is the most important game for Dak this year, beating the Eagles 33-13 at home in good fashion, convincingly and shutting up the haters. And then last but not least, we get to the Eagles, right? We get to the Eagles. And I've been saying time and time and time again that the Eagles were just skating by, that they were barely winning. And you know what the Eagles fans did to me? Jay, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. The Eagles are going all the way. We're not going to lose anything. And I'm like, hey, you guys are going to end up losing 3 in a row at some point. It's going to happen. The Eagles are going to slow down. So, yeah, they beat the Patriots. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Buccaneers. They beat the Commanders in a 3-point game. They beat the Rams 23-14. They lost to the Jets. Then they beat Miami. Then they beat the Commanders in another close game. Then they beat the Cowboys in another close game. They beat Kansas City in a close game. They beat the Bills in a close game. And then they meet up with the 49ers and they get absolutely blown out. Then they run into the Cowboys and get blown out again. And right now, you got the Seahawks coming up. So now the question is whether or not can the Seahawks get their own breaks off in regards to the Eagles right now, because they look weak. They don't look like they're ready to ball anymore. They look like the heart's missing out of the team. The chemistry is not flowing, and the defense just hasn't been stopping the way that they need to. Now, I'm not saying that the Seahawks is going to blow them out like the 49ers and the Cowboys did, but this very well could be a very, very close game. And once again, come down to a 1-score game or a field goal. So who's going to take it? Things could get very interesting on the 18th for the Eagles for sure. And this has big ramifications as far as for seeding for the Cowboys and the 49ers. So guess what? The chips are all stacked against the Eagles right now in the NFC. And it's all up to Sirianni, Hurts, and that offense to really figure it out, as well as the defense. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get into some of the comments. Shout out to Chiefs, says, love how Vegas controls the game. Jason says, are the Niners playing the Cowboys later on? Let me look at the schedule here. Look at the schedule. So the next 4 for the 49ers is going to be the Cardinals, the Ravens, which that game is going to be crazy. I can't wait for that game. And then the Commanders, and then in January they'll have the Rams. So they won't be playing the Cowboys until potentially the playoffs. Eric says system quarterbacks only exist in college. The NFL will adapt to the draft picks. College will make you play their offense. Shout out to you, Eric. Ryan says Eagles should have lost to the Bills, to be honest. That was one game I was very, very upset about for sure. And you're right. Should be 0-3, Pats 3 games. Mahomes coming across as a spoiled fool. Shout out to you, Sal. Depends if Geno is playing or not. If Geno plays, Seahawks have a chance to win. And I agree, right? As much as I do, think Locke is okay, I'm not sure that he has the real ability to get through these Eagles. I could be wrong, but I really think that you need to have Geno on that field for that experience, because this is going to be a different level of a defense for this team. And I'm not sure if the Seahawks will have the ability to stop Hurts the way that, the Cowboys and the 49ers have. So there you go. All right. So we'll go ahead and take another quick call. If you just called in here, we'll try to get you in here. I've got a 443. If your number is 443, I'll try to call you in and get you in here momentarily.
Hello.
Hello? Hello, who do I have on the line?
Charlene.
Charlene, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. What do you got for me today?
I do agree with you. And, sometimes I think Mahomes think he is the coach.
Okay. I like it. Keep going.
And look like he doesn't want to make him mad, so he agree with any stupid thing that comes out of his mouth.
You know what? And I think you do have some merit to that because, I think a quarterback gets to a certain point where, he knows that the team revolves around him potentially more than the coach. And the coach is obviously just there to be just that, right? To just coach the team. At the end of the day, I do think that the players do respect Andy Reid, though, just because of his tenure and, who he is and the ability for him to put together the team. But at the same time, right, I think there is a level of mutual respect. So at the end of the day, you're going to have people that feel a certain way in regards to things that, someone says or, how they run the team and who says what. But I feel like it's more so the respect and understanding that this man brought the franchise multiple Super Bowls, and he does have a level of pull with that organization.
Yep.
All right. So I do thank you for that, Charlene. It was great talking to you, though. Good to hear you.
Thank you, and I'm glad you called me back.
No problem. You have a great day. Good talking to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Shout out to Nate. Says, can I call in? Nate, you can call in, man. You can call in. I got another about 15 minutes. And if you want to call in, we can, go over your topic, what you're trying to talk about. I mean, right now I'm on the 49ers. I do want to get into the topic of whether or not people believe that Brock Purdy is, still a system quarterback or, would he not be great if he wasn't with the 49ers? Because I do think that's another topic that we can get into and we can address and, we can break down. We can break down for sure. So let's see here. We got Rebecca. All right, Rebecca, we'll try to get you in here. We'll try to get Rebecca in here. Let's see. I'm going to call you back, and here we go. We'll try to get you in, Rebecca. Jason says, Purdy is a star. So what I'll do is we'll try to get Rebecca in here, and then we'll take another call for Purdy. Rebecca?
Hey, Jay.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Obviously, Bills Mafia should be feeling good today. And
right.
I'm glad.
A terrible echo in here, so
you might want to turn down anything you got playing that's playing the actual stream.
Okay, turned it off. Nope, still echoey, but that's all right. I'm calling from a long way away.
Okay, so what do you got for me, Rebecca?
Well, my point was that we lived in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks were a big deal during season. I moved to Rhode Island about 20 years ago, and of course, all the wins they've had. And during the season, when they're winning, big deal. But like this year, nobody's watching, nobody cares. It's different in Western New York.
Okay.
We're Bills fans year round. That's what we do. That's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our emotions are way more fan, if you will.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as Bills Mafia, and I obviously I can speak for Bills Mafia because, I was born and raised in Western New York. I followed the Bills my whole life. The thing about the organization, right? The team, the fans, it's all one big collective family. At the end of the day, right. It's just like a big family. And, we take care of each other. We may have our disagreements, but at the end of the day, we always come back and support each other. And I think that's one of the big things about
like that anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really seen that, too many other places. And even just talking to other people, though, other teams or other fans will say, hey, you know what, you guys are, Bills Mafia is great. Bills Mafia is, just a different level of a fan base. And it's great to be a part of it for all these years. Like I said, we've had our ups and downs, we've had our roller coasters, but at the end of the day, we always come back no matter what happens, through the wins, through the losses. We can be emotional about it. We can say things, be mad at each other and all that kind of stuff because, we want to see the best for the team. We want to see the team win. And at the end of the day, I think that's what brings us together even more, because we can have those differences and still come together and understand each other. But I do think one thing is really important.
After the loss, we go back for the next game.
What was that?
And after the loss, we go back for the next game.
Exactly.
And we go back for the next season. And we just do it over and over. We never lose our Bills love.
Exactly. And sometimes
talk to my friend.
Well, and I was just gonna say this before we part. I think it's very, very amazing that you guys have been so supportive of the team. Even hit me up like, yo, Jay, obviously I don't agree with what you're saying, but yeah, we do need to see a change. And sometimes I may be overly critical, but hey, that's just the realist in me, and that's just how I am. But hey, at the end of the day, I still want to see this team succeed, and go Bills. Shout out to you, Rebecca.
Right, go Bills.
All right, have a good day.
Thanks, man. You too.
So DJ Gene brought up a very good point. He said, "Hey, why don't you get Tom or Tree on the channel?" I'd love to have them on the channel. I would absolutely love to have Tom on the channel. Tree on the channels, Scooter, any one of those guys. Perna, let's do it. Let's talk about sports. But you know what? People have their own cliques. People have their own network that they rock with, right? If some people remember a while ago, I reached out to Tom. I said, hey, let's go ahead and do a joint stream, right? We got the Packers and the Bills playing. I didn't get a response. Maybe he's a busy guy. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I just know that he has his community. We have ours. And I've reached out to certain individuals to network. They won't hit me back. At the end of the day, it doesn't change what I do and what our community is. And that's why we've just created our own lane. There are certain individuals that rock with me. I know different various people that are very, very large on YouTube, and we have talks and we have discussions. And, that's just how it goes. But as far as reaching out to certain people, my door is always open. My door is always open. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to be real with you. I'm not kissing anybody's ass. I'm not kissing nobody's ass for them to come on the channel or talk to me. I don't care who you are. You could be a professional NFL player. You could be a coach, whatever, doesn't matter to me. If you want to talk to me, my door is open. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. I'm moving on. I'm moving forward regardless. The train moves forward no matter what. And that's just the reality of it. So Shawji says the cheerleaders are kind of treated like interns, and the big money is massages or parties where they can meet really rich people. Wow. All right. Shawji taking it there. Tycoon says she was nice. Yeah, she's cool. Rebecca's cool. Shout out to Rebecca. Jason says, is Tom that bad? So I have no problem with, I got you, Jamie. I didn't forget about you. I have no problem with Tom. Tom is an amazing creator. He works really hard at what he does in his craft. He's a heavy supporter of the Packers. And I'll be honest with you guys. At some point, he definitely motivated me to go out there and go a little harder than what I was. So, I don't hate on Tom. We have our little camaraderie and stuff like that. Obviously, Packers play the Bills. I'm thinking about the man who's rooting for the Packers, and I want to see his reaction where he's upset and he's mad. And I'm sure, listen, don't be fooled. We're definitely at the level where these guys are paying attention. He knows who I am. I popped in on his stream multiple times. He knows exactly who I am. He sees what we're doing over here. He sees the numbers as well. And just because they don't act like they don't know you doesn't mean they don't see what you're doing, because I'm here just like they are. So the reality is this. I'm always open for networking. The people that rock with me, they rock with me. The people that don't, they don't. At the end of the day, I'm still pushing forward. Now, on to Jamie's question. Thoughts on Gabe Davis? So, obviously, I've always been a heavy supporter of Gabe Davis. It hasn't changed. Is he as productive as he needs to be this year? No. And it's really unfortunate because I think he's very talented. I think that he runs great routes. I think that he has the speed. I don't know what's been going on with him. I don't know if it's because of, there's some kind of issue as far as with the chemistry between him and the other wide receivers. I don't know if him and Josh just haven't been on the same page lately. And it's really sad for me to see it because I do think that, Gabe Davis could be great. And, he just hasn't been that person. And it's really, like I said, it's really unfortunate because I don't think that the Bills will keep him much longer. That's what it's looking like to me. He may not be on the team next year, or if he is, he may not be, starting, which is sad because I look at the direction that Brady's moving in as far as with the play calling. And I think I seen maybe 2 passes to Davis last night or yesterday. And that's not good. That's not good. I would love to see more production out of Davis. Maybe they can figure something out. But for right now, if he's not going to be productive and he's not going to be utilized, it may be time for him to go. He may be used somewhere else. He may find his path at a different team and then ball out, kind of like how we've seen other players do for the Bills, without a doubt. Quick shout out to Sal, says 62,000 subscribers. Just found, came together, man. The community has built this community, and it's been great. Gene says 49ers is a good guy. You may have scheduling problems collaborating with him though. He's in Ireland. I'm pretty flexible. I'm pretty flexible. Actually, you know what? I was on Larry's stream. I hop on Larry's stream all the time. Larry Krug, big 49ers. He was a scout. He does 49ers streams. I'm always chopping it up with him. He's been great. I'm sure it'd be no problem to have him on, have him on the show. He's been welcoming to me, and we'll chop it about the 49ers and all that kind of stuff. It's been great. I actually support Larry. So if you don't know about Larry Kruger, he's great. He talks about the 49ers. He has players on the show. He does deep dives into, play schemes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, shout out to Larry, without a doubt. Like I said, there's people that I rock with, right? And the people that I do, they rock with me, and that's just what it is. Shout out to Lori, says, y'all hit that like. Yeah, hit that like, hit that thumbs up if you have not. It is much, much appreciated. We'll wrap everything up. So Jamie says, I keep hearing Davis is a locker room guy. I really like him too. I just wish he's more productive. Yeah, so we'll finish it off with this. I do think that Davis probably has until the end of this year. We know that Davis is one of those. We call him Playoff Gabe, right? That's the nickname, Playoff Gabe, because Bills make it to the playoffs. You're going to start seeing 50-yard bombs, 60-yard bombs to Davis. He catches it, potentially runs it in for a touchdown, right? And everybody gets hyped up. Yeah, go Bills. Let's go, Gabe. And then, all is well. So if that's the case, I guess, all right, fine. But I would just like to see him do a lot more in the regular season as well. And I guess that's just where we are right now. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to you guys for rocking with your boy Jay. Also, quick shout out to Josh Hawkins. I didn't forget about you, man. Tonight we got Monday Night Football. It's going to be the Titans and the Dolphins, and we'll get into that. I'll see you guys later for that game. Much love to each and every one of you. Have a good day. See you later. Peace out.